Hey everybody, happy Wednesday night. So, we're not Zooming tonight because, well, I'm a little depressed, to be honest with you. So, we had 20 to 25 youth coming pretty consistently before all this pandemic and everything else happened. Well, my last Zoom that we actually did, well, had 6 youth on there. I'm going to be honest, that is pretty depressing right now. I just, man, and then I got home, fixing to start to film this, and what did I see? The little bitty cover that covers up my phone, their actual camera within there, had a huge hole in there, cracked. I had to peel it off just so that way I could actually film something. It's just like a spiraling tornado of depression. It's crazy and terrible. But I am believing, though, that very soon that everyone will be coming out of the spiral of depression and we're all going to be back to rainbows and unicorns. Everybody ready for that? I know I am. So, I wanted to get with you guys because we have a few things to cover tonight. So I thought this would be better than just having a Zoom call where nobody would join. Instead, I thought, oh man, let's do this and maybe all the youth will click on the link that I sent out. So I'm trusting and believing that everybody that hasn't been coming to our Zoom meetings is still alive, they're well, they're kicking, they're doing everything that's fun and enjoyable in this life, and hopefully they're not laying in a ditch somewhere. All right? Well, let's get started tonight with our announcements. Number one, May the 17th, the evening. In that evening service, we're going to be having our graduation celebration. We have 2 seniors that's graduating this year. We have Joe and we have Peyton. You know, Joe, a few months ago, he flew the coop, and well, you know, that's okay, because I expect as you guys get older, I expect God is going to lead you in a direction that you need to go, and Joe's been going to a different church, and I'm super proud of him for making that decision. And then we've also got Peyton that has been coming as well, and well, it's also pretty depressing because Haven, right, that brought Peyton along, well, has moved now to Missouri, and then Peyton is also going to be moving to Missouri soon. This is just terrible. I mean, terrible. I feel like I'm in the Wizard of Oz and I'm still in the tornado right now. Just, you guys know what I'm talking about. So anyway, but Peyton and Joe are our 2 seniors this year. We want to honor them just as we would anyone. And the way that we do that is, well, we throw them a graduation celebration. We're going to have them decked out in their caps and gowns, and then we're going to get to call them up on stage and all that wonderful stuff, just like they would at their own graduation. Because right now, their graduations look like they're probably going to be in July or maybe even later. But we want to celebrate them right now. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to invite their immediate family to come on that Sunday night and just sit there and just be able to hear their names called and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Youth, I don't want to leave you out. I think we should also honor them. And the way I'm going to ask you to honor them is this, is that I want you to send me just a short little snippet, could be 10 seconds, just saying good luck, congratulations, whatever it is, that way I can put it all together and we're going to premiere that video that night for our seniors. Please do this for me. All right, guys? Next thing up is our Starry Night. So we announced a few weeks ago in regards to an alt prom event. That's exactly what this is, Starry Night. So this is an elegant night under the stars. This is going to be everyone that is from 6th grade up to 12th grade. And I do have a few frequently asked questions that I'm going to help you out with tonight. Number one, the first set of dates that I've set is May the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. That's a Saturday evening. And, well, I know that this time of year is just a little up in the air whenever it comes to weather. So what I've done is I've set a secondary date of May the 30th at 6:30 p.m. So the very first day, hopefully we can have it as long as, we don't have rain outside and all this kind of stuff going on. As long as it's not too cold, then May the 23rd it will be. And then if it is, May the 30th. Now the next question is that where is this going to be at? This is going to be housed right here in our backyard. The youth pastor's home in our backyard back here. We're going to deck it out with some lights and stuff, make it look really nice and pretty, and then that way we can be underneath the stars and all that kind of wonderful jazz. Next question is that will there be refreshments served? Absolutely. You guys know if you come over to our house, we always make sure you guys are well taken care of. The way that we're going to do that is that we're going to have smaller plate items, as I call it, like chicken fingers and then sliders, some fruit and stuff like that for you guys just to kind of hold around a little plate. And then we also plan on having some water, tea, limited soda, stuff like that for you guys to drink. Now the next up is that will there be music and are we going to be promoting dancing? Yes, we are going to have music. Are we going to promote dancing? No, we're not promoting dancing. That's not who we are. But instead, what we're going to say is this, is that if we didn't have music playing and everybody was just standing around, that would be a little awkward. So we're just going to try and break the awkwardness a little bit with some music. And then we found that if youth all of a sudden start to, move along with that music a little bit, right, we're not going to discourage that. Because we have found that makes for some pretty funny videos sometimes. So, are we going to have music? Yes. Are we promoting dancing? Absolutely not. But if you start moving a little bit and tapping your feet, right, hey, that's your business. Now, one thing that we're not going to have is we're not going to have music with bad language. Please do not come to us and be like, hey, Mr. DJ, will you put on, I don't know, whatever's bad language. I don't listen to that. So, and we're going to be like, no, please don't ask that. That's just ridiculous. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're not going to play any music that promotes dirty dancing. Some of you youth might be like, what are you even talking about? Parents, you're going to understand that reference. We are not promoting dirty dancing. We are not promoting bad language. All right? Next up is that, are we going to do formal, like prom type attire? Well, here's the thing. I don't care what you wear in regards to if you want to come dressed, up like you're going to prom, formal, whatever. I don't care if you come dressed up if you've been on the farm all day shoveling chicken manure. That's totally up to you. If you want to come hang out with us, come hang out. If you want to wear, though, a beautiful dress, awesome. You want to wear a tuxedo? Awesome. You want to wear overalls? That's cool. Man, I think whatever you want to wear, that's totally up to you. We are calling it Starry Night, so it sounds a little bit more like, oh, maybe I need to get dressed up. So either way, that totally is up to you. Now, the things that are not up to you is this, is please, 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 do not wear inappropriate clothing. What does this mean? This means, ladies, please do not wear a dress that we can see your cleavage, right? We don't need to see that. I mean, the young men around here, they might want to see that, but I can assure you they don't need to see that. So please, ladies, do not wear dresses that just like, oh, here they are, right? Please don't do that. But instead, please cover yourself up, all right? Gentlemen, that also means for you guys, please, please, please do not wear like wife beaters, tank tops, whatever it is, right? Please make sure you have on like some sort of at least a t-shirt or whatever you have around, like a button down, something like that, guys. Holy jeans. Why do we even have holy jeans? Unless you've been working out on the farm shoveling chicken poop. I'll allow it then. But guys, please make sure and wear appropriate attire. Ladies, please make sure and wear appropriate attire. If you're wearing a dress, make sure if you can go like this, it doesn't show everything, okay? Make sure that you're still appropriately covered whenever you put your hands up in the air, please. All right? This is the way I put it online, is if Jesus would blush, we don't want it here, all right? If Jesus would blush, please, please do not wear it. Now, ladies, I'm also going to warn you on this, is that since this is in our backyard is grass. The reason why I'm saying that is if you decide to wear heels, we have grass back there. So grass is normally a little bit harder on hills. So please just keep that in mind, ladies. Next thing up, the last question that we kind of had from the frequently asked questions was, can you invite your friends? 100% you can absolutely invite your friends. But if you could, please, make sure message me how many people might be attending with you. That way we just make sure and have enough food for everyone. We don't want to make sure and all of a sudden be like, oh, goodness, we're out of food and we only fed half the people. Because I'm going to tell you, obviously, Jesus, he fed 5,000 people, right? With some fish and loaves of bread. I have not so far successfully done this yet. So please, make sure, let me know how many people's coming with you. That way we can just kind of estimate food and drinks. Next up, I am very excited about this. Hopefully you have been paying attention. Youth camp was canceled for this year. Man, I have just been so sad about this. However, we are throwing our own summer camp, I think, which is awesome. So we have set the summer camp dates as June the 28th through July the 1st. What we're doing is that we are partnering with Jasper First Assembly. And yes, their youth are also going to be tagging along because they had like 13, I think, youth going. We had 14 going. So this is going to make for a perfect combination here. We have secured a larger lodge just outside of Jasper. It houses, I think, 35 individuals. What it is that there's a bunkhouse completely separate for like that way the guys can stay there, girls can be in the main cabin. There's a perfect area to cook our food and all that kind of stuff. Looks like there's a wonderful area to be outside. So there's all sorts of cool stuff to happen there just so that way we can kind of come together. Well, our plan is that our evening sessions, those are going to be held down at the Jasper Youth Room. And then our team competitions will be held down at Bradley Park. That way, this allows us to at least, be able just to come together and still have that camp atmosphere together. We will have morning sessions as well. Our morning sessions will be there on site at the lodge, and that'll kind of rotate between the youth leaders that come from Jasper as well as like Batavia. We'll rotate in on those mornings, and then the evening services, we're pulling in someone. That way we'll do worship for us, and we're also pulling somebody in to actually do the evening services. That way you don't have to hear your youth leaders all the time. All right, guys? So that's some just wonderful news. Those dates, again, are June 28th through July the 1st. I do need you to go out and please get registered. Out on our registration side, I have parent handouts for both Jasper and Batavia. I also have a waiver of liability, and I also already have the tentative schedule out there. That way you can kind of see exactly what it looks like. When we're leaving our church, when we're going to pick up the Jasper kids, and then what's going to happen is we're going to go up, get unpacked, and then we'll go down for our evening session, all that kind of stuff, and you'll see what Monday and Tuesday look like, and then also what Wednesday morning when we get ready to leave the lodge also looks like. All of that is out there on our registration page, and you'll see the link whenever I put it up there. And you guys can go out there and make sure and get registered. I checked the other day, and there has been one individual registered from Batavia. So please, kids from Batavia, make sure to jump out there, get registered. Now, next thing up is our quarantine spin. Several of you did sign up for our quarantine spin. Not all my youth group did. Kind of disappointed. Hopefully, the rest of you, if you're seeing this tonight, will jump on, go ahead and get registered. If you already registered and if you already won, you don't have to re-register. You only have to do it one time, because all you're going to do is you're going to swing a winner one time. So what is going to happen is this, though, is that once we get back to our building, we are going to do this. We are going to have one last spin, and whoever wins gets a big basket. All right, guys? So I'm looking forward to that. And that leads us into our next thing. So when are we relaunching Batavia Youth? This is a big one. And I know a lot of you have really been looking forward to this answer. Well, I don't have one for you yet. I know, so sorry. I can tell you this, is that the governor has come out and said that churches can start to meet under certain guidelines. And that's exactly what we're going to do Sunday morning as far as for the main service. We are meeting under certain guidelines. We're going to get people back inside the building, and we're going to get to have an awesome time, I know, Sunday morning. Now, what does that mean for us? That means that we are also allowed to meet from the way that we understand it. Now, I am not going to have us meet next week. So that would mean, I think that's somewhere in the ballpark of around May the 13th. I'm not going to have us meet May the 13th. Instead, we're going to be putting finishing touches and all that kind of stuff on relaunching. And I am currently looking at May the 20th as our relaunch date to be back inside our youth room. That could change. I'm going to be honest with you. It very well might change to maybe May the 27th. I'm not sure yet. But as of right now, I'm looking at May the 20th to relaunch our youth program back inside the building. So either way, worship team, I'm speaking directly to you right now. Make sure, start getting some songs together, start practicing. It's time for you guys to get back up on that stage. That way we don't have to do YouTube. The rest of you, we will have to follow guidelines that have been placed out before us from the governor, which means that Ryan will have to be 6 foot apart, all this kind of wonderful jazz. We'll have to wear a mask unless you're actually up on the platform singing and everything like that. So there will be some guidelines that we will have to follow, even as youth. We're going to have to do it. So I am looking forward to officially launching that date. Like I say, right now, tentatively, I'm looking at May the 20th, and it could be May the 27th, but either way, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be back inside our church building for the youth. All right, guys? That leads me into my final thing tonight. So, student devotional. Hopefully some of you have been paying attention. Well, so far we've had 3 student devotionals that have actually been sent to me, and I think which is awesome. Our very first one that stepped up to the plate was Connor. Connor did an outstanding job. And then our next one, well, since I didn't have anybody do one, then Ava, my daughter, right, she jumped up, she stepped up to the plate, and she done our second one. Last night, in case you did miss it, was our third one, and our third one was actually completed by Cammie, which did an absolute awesome job. My light just went off, so it ran out of battery, so that means I need to hurry up. So, but with Cammie doing the third one, that means I need somebody to step up to the group and do the fourth one, all right? We need a fourth one done. Those are pretty easy. All you have to do is sit down, grab your phone, record something that God has placed on your heart. All right? Super easy, guys. I'm believing and trusting that you all can handle that. If you guys want to jump out there, we have a YouTube channel. Make sure and go out there. I put our videos out there because a lot of you don't have Facebook. And then those of you that do have Facebook, right, you can also check them out right there on Facebook as well. But it's out there as far as what Connor and then what Ava and then what Cammie did. And so tonight, closing out, I just want to also do the devotion for you all. Super short, but just to show you what you guys can do. So, I don't know if some of you maybe remember What Would Jesus Do movement, right? The WWJD movement. This was from a few years ago, but it was a really big thing that happened. A lot of people had the bracelets around WWJD. Everybody had, cool little things that they could wear, everything going on. But what would Jesus do? The central question that people were asking themselves was extremely simple. If Christians are supposed to be following Jesus, why aren't we making more of an impact on daily lives? If we're supposed to be acting more like Jesus, if we're supposed to be getting out there and doing exactly what Jesus told us to do, why are we not making more of an impact in people's lives? And that's a daily thing. You see, the movement's answer was to imagine what everyday life might be like if all of us simply talked, walked, acted like Jesus himself. Well, that would change everything. Think about it. Imagine yourself if you went to Taco Bell. Chris loves Taco Bell. He loves Taco Bell. And you see, imagine if you got a burrito at Taco Bell. Here Chris is, man. Chris is like, I'm going to Taco Bell. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, he gets a call from somebody. He's like, look, I've got 1,000 people up here that need to be fed. And he's like, well, I've only got enough money for one burrito from Taco Bell. What do you want me to do? Imagine if he walked and talked and did everything just like Jesus would do, right? What would happen in that moment? Well, this is what would happen, right? Chris would step up to the plate. He'd go to this stadium where 1,000 people were sitting. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, he could break that burrito apart. Man, it'd feed 1,000 people. How incredible would that be? But by any measure, the WWJD movement didn't change, well, probably anything, to be honest with you. It probably didn't change a whole lot. You see, maybe the Christian lives we think we're living are actually disconnected from who Jesus really is. You see, it's fine to imagine what we think Jesus might do when a friend betrays us. Or maybe it's easy for us, right? It's easy for us to imagine, well, what do we think Jesus might do if all of a sudden a test comes back with a D, right? Well, maybe we break a finger right before the biggest basketball or football, baseball game of your life. Maybe it's the state championship, right? It's fine to imagine these things. What would Jesus do? But really, the whole thing desperately depends on how well we really know the true Jesus. How well do we really know Jesus? The real Jesus. Not the one that society wants us to think of, but instead the real Jesus. You see, here's something profound. We can miss Jesus entirely by arrogantly assuming that our imagined responses to a partially understood Jesus mean that we are really following Jesus. Do you understand? You see, we can miss Jesus entirely by arrogantly assuming what we imagine the response to these things would be. If we only understand Jesus partially for who he really is. For the past few weeks, whenever we've actually been meeting on Zoom, we've been talking about Jesus. And so I've asked you guys to get a pencil, pen, whatever it may be, and a piece of paper. Hopefully you got a notebook where you've been writing stuff down in. And so I want you to grab that really quickly if you can for me. I can sit here and hum for a minute if you guys want me to. Hopefully we don't copyright law infringement or something like that for that song. But hopefully you're back. Hopefully you got a pen, pencil. If I keep saying it, hopefully that means you're going to grab it. Maybe you got a piece of paper, notebook, whatever you have right now. I want you to do this. Since this devotion right here is all about rediscovering Jesus, it's a good idea to consider how you currently view him. Imagine him. How would you describe him? So, on your paper, I want you to write down this. I want you to write down a bunch of stuff about Jesus. Anything you want. They can be one-word descriptions, right? Like amazing, awesome, died, crucified. What's the next thing, right? What happened? Came back to life. So, you write down whatever you think that you want and the stuff that you know about him. One-word descriptions maybe. Things maybe you know he said. Maybe some of the parables that he talked about. The prodigal son, right? Maybe about, I don't know, about the 10 virgins that waited. Just like what we are right now. 5 of them were prepared. 5 of them were not. Just think about that. Things that he said. Maybe it's miracles that he performed. Maybe you love the part where he walked on water. Maybe you love the part about whenever he was walking down the street and he saw a funeral procession coming. He walked over and boom, he was like, get up. Right? He told the child to get up. Maybe your favorite one is about the woman that pushed through the crowd just to touch the hem of his garment to be healed of a disease that she had for 10 years. Whatever comes to mind, I want you to write that down right now. Just fill up your piece of paper, notebook, page, whatever it is. Just write it all down. Fill it up. And then this is what I want you to do with it. I want you to look at this question right here after you get done filling all of it up. Is what does following Jesus mean to you? So you write down everything that you write down about him, whatever it may be. You fill up the page. You write down, you turn your page, and you write at the top, you say, what does following Jesus mean to me? Write that down. Answer it honestly. Look at all the things that you wrote about him. What does following Jesus mean to me? You see, it's as easy as that. Easy as that to do a really quick student devotion. Think about the lives that you could impact just by sitting down and asking God, man, what do you want me to tell this generation? What do you want me to tell them? Do you want me to tell them about about Jesus, how you stepped off the throne. You came here, you lived it, you died, you rose again. Do you want me to tell them, God, about how you in the Old Testament, you created everything in Genesis, and then you saved your people from the Egyptians? I don't know what God is telling you to tell this generation, but guys, I'm trusting and believing in you all to step up to the plate. I'm believing in my youth to step up to the plate. You guys are not the church of tomorrow. You guys are the church of today, the church of the now. And I just encourage you guys to step up. I know you guys can. I love you all. I know that Brenna loves you all. I know the girls, they love you guys a lot. And we're looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. Hopefully you all will come on Sunday morning. You all can sit next to your families. We can get to see you. I know we're going to have to practice social distancing of 6 feet. We're going to have to wear masks. We're going to have to do all that on Sunday. But that doesn't make God any less of who he is. You know what that means for us? It means for us we can come together and at least just worship with one another once again. And don't forget that I will be releasing, hopefully within the next few days, our relaunch date. I'm looking at May the 20th or May the 27th. Either one, we're going to be back inside our youth room. We're going to worship together, not using YouTube, but instead we're going to worship together with our worship team. You guys be ready. And then what else are we going to do? We're going to come together, and by George, we're just going to have a great time because I'm ready to see you all. I'm trusting that my 20 or so youth that I have not heard from during this whole thing, I'm trusting you guys are alive. And if you don't see this, well, the youth that are watching this, make sure, pick up your phone. I want you to text one of the other youth that maybe you haven't heard from in a while. Text them and just make sure that they're okay. And tell them, be like, look, we're going back to youth in a couple of weeks. Be there. All right, guys? I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. You all have a great evening. Thank you guys so much for joining. Good night.